Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, and with me today is a YouTuber who uploads news, food, and he live streams occasionally. It's AndrewMycol. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello Internet, it's AndrewMycol and welcome to today's video.
All of his social medias will be down in the description below, so make sure you click-a-rooney those links. Andrew, how are you doing today?
You know, Yemmy, I think I'm doing good today.
You think?
I think, therefore, I know. Or I think that's how that goes.
I think it's therefore I am.
Oh, sorry, wrong quote.
That's okay. I'm not judging you.
Yeah, well, at least you're not a grammar Nazi.
Well, I could be.
That is true.
No. All right. Let's start with the origin story of AndrewMycol. Where are you from? And whoa! What the fuck just happened on my phone? All right, sorry. So, okay. Tell me about the origin story of AndrewMycol. Where are you from?
Alright, so for those who don't know me, I am from Pearl, Mississippi. And how AndrewMycol got started was, it all started back in 2015 when I started YouTube. And I went on a little journey and speed things up. We're in 2017 and I got to thinking, I was like, do I want to keep doing YouTube or not? And I decided, maybe it's good that I take a break for a little bit. And so I left YouTube in August. Then I came back in around April, May of this year. And I thought about it and I was like, what if I restart my whole YouTube career? And so that's when I decided to make the new YouTube channel. And then I was thinking of a name and I was like, do I want to go with a gaming username or do I want to go with something natural? And so I came up with AndrewMycol because, of course, for those who don't know, obviously, my name's Andrew. And Mycol is actually my last name. But the reason I changed it to the way it's spelled is because when I searched up AndrewMycol on the YouTube search, there were literally at least like 10,000, 15,000 people with literally the exact same name. So I was like, oh God, I don't want to be lost in the sea of AndrewMycols. So what I decided was to just change the spelling of Mycol to Mycol. And when I searched that up, the only one that has that is yours truly. And
Nice.
so that's how it came up with AndrewMycol.
Awesome. Yeah. It's good to have a little bit of originality in the sea of what would you say? The sea of normal people.
Yeah.
So you said you had an older channel. What was that channel about? Was it about the same content or was it completely different?
Well, when I did it in 2015, the first video I uploaded was the Pac-Man in Time speedrun. And I was like, oh my goodness, I might be good at doing speedruns. But then I was at my grandmother's house and I didn't really have a whole lot of video games down there. And so I was like, man, I don't know what I want to do. And so then I became a Pokemon trading card YouTuber for at least like a month or 2 months. And I saw how bad that was doing, and I was like, well, this isn't working. And so, when I got my PlayStation 4 for Christmas in 2016, I was like, now I have Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe I can actually do some gaming videos. And so basically back then, all I would do is just live stream GTA 5. And when I started finding a good bit of people, that was when I was like, I did gaming back then, but then I did the dreaded sub for sub, and we all saw what happened to my old channel, just got killed. And so basically what I did back then was just gaming videos, mostly GTA 5, and then I think when it was E3 2017 was when I got Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, and I would always just stream the 3 games. That's all I would do.
So you said you couldn't revive the old channel, Sub for Sub just completely destroyed it?
Absolutely. Like, at first, when it was in January, I was stuck at like 13, 14 subscribers, and only like 3 or 4 people would watch my videos, and I was like, oh man, what am I going to do to make this channel better? And then I was just looking on YouTube one day, and I see this random person doing a live stream that said, sub for sub, grow your channel 100% organically. And I was like, man, this totally has to be legit. And so I went on there and found some people who, for some reason, subscribed to my channel. Don't know why they would do that. And then next thing you know, a couple months later, I wound up with 700 subscribers. But the only problem is that my view count only went up to like 20, 25, 30 people. And then when I took a break for about a month to go live stream on Twitch, came back and it was only like 6, 8 people watching my videos. And so I was like, I don't think this is actually going to work. And so in August, I decided, you know what, I don't think this is really gonna work anytime soon. I don't think I'm gonna get people back onto the channel. And so I just decided to ditch the old channel.
Do you think if you still had that old channel, would you have evolved into the content you're doing now, or was the new channel like a new breath of life for you?
I think what made me do that was when 2 weeks before I not deleted it, but when I stopped the channel, I had found Instagram. And I was like, maybe I can get that to work. And surprisingly, I didn't think it would happen, but 3 or 4 days later after I started, I got my first 100 followers on Instagram. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect that at all. And so when it got 2 weeks later, I was like, why am I doing so good on Instagram, but yet I'm struggling on YouTube? And so I was like, maybe that was it, but I think it was a different reason. And I just decided, I was on Instagram, I had another account, and it got to like up to 1,000, 2,000 followers. But then on there, I was like, I wanted to do something new. So that was when on Instagram, I made my food account called AndrewMycol. And I currently have that. And even though I'm not at the same follower count, I feel like the content I'm putting on there was assigned to me saying, sure, the numbers may not say it, but I enjoy the content that I make. And so I was like, what if I did something different on YouTube? And so I went to a friend's live stream, and his friend told me, you could just restart YouTube. You could just make a new channel. And I was like, well, I never thought about doing that. And so when I started this channel, it was like, I got to find something that's going to be consistent, something that I actually enjoy doing. And so that's when I came up with the news stuff, which I was doing on the old channel. And I was like, I want to keep that going. So that's why I'm doing news on here. But then I was doing food for a little bit, but I think you and me got into a little discussion on what the name should be. And how that started was when it was on Instagram, and I would do the Will It Fry series, or formerly known as that. And I kept tagging Good Mythical Morning because we all know they were the ones that made the whole thing famous. And it was like, for some reason, they never did anything about it. And I was like, oh, well, I guess they don't care. And then when you saw it, I was like, dude, I think eventually if you get big enough, this could be a problem. And so I was like, okay. But then I couldn't find anything else to do with that. So then I tried doing the freezer fry thing, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then, lo and behold, it came to me. It's like, what if I do something with my Nintendo Switch? And so I did. I literally did a 360 going to food, going all the way to doing Nintendo Switch stuff. And then I do the live stream stuff just because it's something that's like, it's different than like spending an hour or 2 hours uploading a video and just hanging out with random people that I barely even know. And it's like, it's different that way. But to keep it short, I think the new channel was a sign that said, no matter what the numbers will ever say, if you enjoy the content you make, then that's obviously the direction you need to go. And so I think the new channel was the breath of life that I needed.
That's a good sentiment. You always want to enjoy what you're putting out. You never want to like grudgingly put out content or something like that,
Yeah.
So your Twitter actually says that you're Chef AndrewMycol. Was that simply because you were doing the food stuff on Instagram that you had the chef thing come in, or are you actually a muy chef?
That's actually the first one, because before I changed my Instagram to AndrewMycol, it was called Chef Andrew B. And the reason I called it that way was because I was actually learning how to cook a little bit, but if I was a chef, I would actually be doing that instead of the computer science stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, and the thing is like most of the people on my mom's side of the family are like legitimately really good cooks. And I was like, maybe I'm not exactly like a professional chef, but I mean, I can cook enough. And I mean, plus I haven't burned down my house, so I think I'm good enough of a cook anyways.
So, what would you say is the worst thing you made in the freezer fry challenge, and the best thing that you made? Like, what was the most delicious that you would make again?
I think the worst one I did was, this was back on Instagram, and it was the first thing I ever did on the freezer fry, on the Will It Fry thing, and that was the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Really?
And what happened is that for some reason I was thinking to like do the flour and the egg first instead of doing it the other way around. And for some reason I thought it would turn out pretty good, but I gave it to one of my friends and he's like, dude, this is the worst thing I've totally had. I'm like, oops. But the one thing that was actually the best thing that I've ever fried was pizza. That's one thing you learn. You cannot mess up pizza, even if you deep fry it. And literally, if only thing you do was put it in some cooking oil or some vegetable oil, and you put it on the bottom for like 2 minutes to let it cook like that, that crust turns into like something really soggy that you can keep for leftover, into like the best crunchiest, the best crunchiest crust you can possibly eat. And I tell you, it was like the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. I was like, man, this is good.
So, with going to college, I'm sure you're working right now and you're doing YouTube. How's it like juggling all those different things?
Well, it's kind of like this. I mean, I was working for like 2 months, but then when I was working at Cracker Barrel, it was like, I liked it, but the only problem is only getting many hours. And so the manager said, I really like you as a person, but I mean, I'm not giving you many hours, so I mean, she just let me go. So the only thing really I'm juggling is school and YouTube. But the thing is, when I was going to summer school, before I started, I was like, I need to think of a schedule that will allow me to do YouTube and allow me to focus on school during the week. So that's literally what I did. I do school during the weekdays, but then I do YouTube on Friday and Saturday and Sunday because obviously I don't go to school then, or unless the professors force me to, which I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday thing during the summer season, and turns out I'm still doing it. So I mean, hey, it worked during then, and I was doing like one class for like 1 month, and I thought it was going to be awful, but it turned out to be pretty good. And I was like, if I could put in the work that it took for me to balance school and YouTube then, I think I could still, be able to manage it during the fall semester. So that's kind of how I was able to balance YouTube and school, is that I just focus on school from Monday to Friday morning. And then on the weekends, if I have homework, I'll do that. But then most of that's just when I do the YouTube. It's just Friday to Sunday.
So you got to update your description.
Oh yeah, I do. I have not looked at that thing in a while.
Me neither. Mine is like 2 sentences. That's it. Like, I've never updated it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the hardest part of YouTube is right now for you?
I think when I did all of my videos, it was basically being able to pull in views over the long haul, because it was at first the views overall, like getting people to my videos and being able to get more people there. And I was like, oh, this is not working for me. But then I started watching some YouTubers like Roberto Blake and Nick Nimmin and Sean Cannell and Think Media. And basically they all said the number one thing in 2018 that can really help you is ranking on YouTube in general. And so I started changing up my tags and titles and descriptions so that way I can rank better. But even today, the only thing I think I have a problem with is finding content that people are interested in because with all the news videos that I do, it's kind of hard to see what people are interested in, what people aren't interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I do a news video, I'm kind of taking that risk because sure, for a little bit it'll be trending, but even over a couple of days, if people is not really talking about it, then it's kind of hard for the news videos to do good. But then what's the interesting thing is that on some of the videos, like the news videos and the Switch videos that I've done over the past couple of weeks, even when no one was really talking about them, they've landed on a couple of big videos. Like some of them have like 1 million views. My video will just be popping up in the suggestion tabs, and I'll get a couple of views there. And in fact, one of my recent Switch demos on Dawn of the Breakers, I did not expect it to somehow wind up on Google search.
Ooh.
And after it did that, my video, which I thought was only going to get like 10, 15 views, is now sitting at 325 views. And that's been like 2 weeks ago. And I did not think it would even come close to doing that.
That's pretty good. Must have been a hot topic that day, huh?
I don't know. Like, what was interesting is that people or something is making it to where people are still watching the video, because I looked at one of the YouTube apps that I have, and it says there's an average of 30 views coming in every day on the video.
That's pretty good.
So even when I looked at analytics, it said, I think it said like 65% of your traffic's coming through Google, and then you have like 20-30% coming from somewhere else. And so that's basically what's been the challenge. Is one is the ranking part, which that's not really the problem, but yeah, I think the problem is trying to see what people are interested in, and that's it.
Was there anything specific that inspired you to start doing news, or was it just something you thought of?
It was actually back in 2017 when me and my friend, who was not really a news YouTuber, but he was a friend of a friend, who was like, hey, there's a lot of YouTube drama going around. Because, like in 2017 when everyone was literally dropping diss tracks, and you had like the whole Jake Paul versus Rice Gum thing.
Right.
And him and me, we were sitting and we were thinking, what better way of trying to chase the views than going after what's trending right now with the YouTube drama. And so me and him would watch Drama Alert, and then we would make our videos based on stuff Keemstar would talk about.
Killer Keemstar.
And that's how him and me came up with fake news media, because some of the stuff Keemstar might come up with, we don't know if it's real or fake. So we were like, even if we have zero facts to prove ourselves, that's why we call ourselves fake news media. Because we'll just put news on our channels, but yet we won't have any facts to back ourselves up. So that's how we came up with the news.
Do you have a favorite news video that you've done, or are they all pretty much on the same level for you?
Oh, well, I mean, in recent memory, it was back in 2017 when, all the big YouTubers were going at it, like all this BS with Rice Gum and all this stuff with people choosing sides between Jake Paul and Rice Gum, and them two dropping diss tracks on each other, and like sidemen going at it. And it was like, back then it was like, in 2017, it was just a weird year for YouTube, and it was just a plain out awful one for people to be like being able to grow on YouTube. And even the biggest stars on YouTube were going at it, and it was like, we might as well just cover this. So we just said screw it. And then basically my favorite ones have still been from 2017 when we were covering what all the big YouTubers were fighting over about.
So I noticed that you did a Christopher Robin trailer reaction.
Yes.
Does it look as creepy to you as it does to me?
Yeah, well, I mean, I watched Winnie the Pooh when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and then I still have some of the cassettes from it. And so my mom, she's like, even though this might look a little bit creepy, me and my uncle are still going to go watch it. So my mom and uncle, they still have plans to go watch it. I don't know if it's still in theaters or not, but to be honest, even if it is like a live action kind of movie, I mean, it's not really that creepy to me.
Okay, all right. All right, so I try not to get political on the channel, but you were the first person who I've had on who actually likes Donald Trump, to be honest with you. And I was just looking for a different perspective on why you support him.
Okay, so just like with Donald Trump, I actually got into him in 2016, with everyone basically wanting to see who would become the next president. And so this was in fact when I was still in high school in 2016. And my friend, he was like on the other side, and he was planning on voting for Bernie Sanders. And when I was writing home, and I was like, out of all the candidates, who do I see, going to be president? And the best one was Bernie Sanders. And I was like, should I go against my family and vote Democrat? Because everyone in there, they were all voting for Ted Cruz. Mm-hmm. And so it was me deciding, do I want to go with Bernie Sanders, or do I want to make my vote count on the Republican side and go with Ted Cruz? And so I decided, instead of going for Bernie Sanders, I went for Ted Cruz. But then, as we saw in the later part of days, it was between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. And on the Democratic side, it was Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And while Ted Cruz wasn't really, I guess, as popular as Donald, and I guess, I still don't know to this day how Hillary somehow beat Bernie. Because, literally, people of my age were literally on the backs saying, oh, we love Bernie. We love everything he's basically supporting.
Yeah.
And so when it came around that Hillary won, it was like a total shock to everyone that I knew. And it was like, whoa, hold on a second. So when it was Hillary and Donald, it was like, I couldn't think of anything that would bring me to voting for Hillary. But yet, even though Donald, he says some, let's just say, some crazy things from here and there, I was like, do I want to vote for someone who I really don't like? Or do I vote for someone who's never held a political office, but yet he somehow might be able to pull this thing off? So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going for Donald Trump. And lo and behold, he did it. And I was like, okay. So we got Donald Trump in here. And when I got on Twitter back, I think this year, right before I started my new channel, I saw a lot of people, on Donald Trump's Twitter, and they were on his replies, talking stuff about him. And sure, some of the things he said are a little bit out there. And sure, the Democrats might have some good points, but it's like, my whole family has been Republican, and I was just sitting there and I was thinking, I could go my own way and try to go Democrat like my aunt, but to be honest, I feel at peace when I'm talking to Republicans, and I feel like Donald Trump hasn't really done anything to basically hurt America in a specific way. But yet with the economy and with the fact that we're somehow still doing good, and the fact that gas prices somehow are holding at $2.50, which is good for me because I'm a commuter. And the thing with gas prices is that if the gas prices are high, then it kind of makes people wonder, is it worth it even to have a car at that point? But if you're me and you're a commuter and you're always on the road most of the time, then it's like, that's one thing that matters. And the fact that Donald Trump really hasn't done anything to mess anything up in my life, I mean, he just hasn't done anything personally to hurt me in any way. So, he hasn't done anything bad, so might as well still support him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just wanted to hear a little bit of a different perspective, because most of the people I talk to, of course, are anti-Trump. Me, myself, I'm not like a full supporter, but he is the president. I will accept it. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's not my president. It's like, he was voted in, it's fine. But that's all I wanted to get with the political stuff. I don't try to get political on the podcast. It's about you. It's about the YouTuber. But I just know that it is a big part of your channel and your Twitter that you do support Donald Trump. So I just wanted to touch on it a little bit,
Yeah.
But let's move on to a game that I made. Since you are a newsman, I have a game called Fake News or Real News. And what you got to do is I will say a news headline, and you have to tell me if it's a real one or if it's a dirty fake one.
All right. Well, since my whole title used to be Fake News Media, now it's gone to AndrewMycol News. I think I might be able to spot something, but I mean, if this were 2018, I think I would always assume it's all fake. But here we are in 2018, so anything's possible.
All right, let's start with number 1, and I have 10 lined up for you. Number 1 is, the headline is, Rap in the middle of pop songs is this generation's guitar solo.
Oh, God. Let's see. Rap and guitar solo in a pop song. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna have to say fake on that one. I mean, it could be real, but I don't know.
One. That is a real.
I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, hold on a second. A pop song with a guitar solo in it? And then I realized there are... Oh, yeah, I forgot. Shawn Mendes, he plays guitar. Never mind.
Next up, this one surprised me. Alex Jones caught watching trans girl pornographic video.
Oh. I mean, Alex Jones is kind of a crazy man, so I mean, what else is new? So I mean, if it were me, I would totally be believing that. So I mean, I'm gonna go with my heart, or probably not really my brain, but I'm probably gonna go with real.
Ooh, that is real.
Hey!
For being such an anti-gay man watching trans porn? Can you do an Alex Jones impersonation?
Hi, this is Alex Jones, and welcome to the InfoWars.
It's InfoWars.
Oh, Hillary Clinton. Oh, Obama. Oh, we're gonna all go to hell.
All right, number 3. Pope Francis is worried about job security after butting heads with God.
I mean, is that even possible at that point? Because, I mean, unless God just comes as a physical person to say, hey, Pope, you're not really doing a good job. I'm going to fire you right now. Unless he somehow, in some way, physically possibly does that, which in that case would probably be the second coming, which even at that point, I don't think God would physically come down and do something like that. So I think I'm going to have to go with what I've learned in the Bible. I'm going with fake.
That is true. It is fake by The Onion.
Yeah.
Number 4. Bush says, our long national nightmare of peace and prosperity is finally over.
Wait, which Bush said that?
I believe it was George W. Coming from
George W. Bush, I'm thinking it's real. I mean,
that is a fake quote.
What?
If you think about it, our long national nightmare of peace and prosperity.
Oh, I thought he said like the rain, like the bashing or the horrible things, I think I was thinking of the other way, and that's why I said real.
Next up, number 5. Plan to get laid at DragonCon 2017 fails.
Well, I mean, it is a Comic-Con, so I mean, in real life, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that. And here's a side note. I mean, me and my friend, we went to a Comic-Con this year, and we were just walking around, having a good time, and then we came across this girl who was dressed up as Wonder Woman. And me and my friend, we saw her.
You took her and you gangbanged her?
No. Well, I mean, another thing is that I think she was with her boyfriend, but I mean...
four-way, all right.
Oh, hell, no. me and my friend, we looked at each other and it's just like, did I just see what I just saw? And he was like, And she was, oh my God, she was hot. But I mean, we couldn't really do anything. And plus, too, we had just come from church, so I don't think it would have been a good idea to try anything. But anyways, back to the headline. I mean, getting laid at DragonCon in 2017. I mean, being it failed. I mean, that has to you know what? Screw it. It has to be real, or is it fake?
It's fake. DragonCon is not a thing.
Oh.
And the
I
picture
mean, it
was
sounds
the.
like it could be a good thing.
Well, the picture was the old meme with the guy with the double chin and the fedora, tipping the fedora. So.
Oh God.
Next up, number 6. Uniformed police rabbit is making the internet hop with joy.
A uniformed police rabbit. I mean, I don't know any police forces that use rabbits as the canines, but I mean, oh no. I've seen this one before. I could have sworn I don't think. No, I didn't. That has to be fake. There's no way.
That is real.
What?
Believe it or not, it was a real story.
What?
It was probably from one of those rural places that are like, oh, we can have a rabbit on our police force.
That makes literally no sense, though.
It was probably one of those things where it's like marrying 2 penguins, you know. It's like it's just a gesture that's not real.
No.
Number 7. Famously thick, high maintenance cat finds new human as extra as he is.
Oh God. Oh God, I can picture that now. Oh no. Ah no, that can't be. That can't be real. I'm going fake on that one. There's no way.
That's real.
What? Where do these people come up with these stories?
I don't know, but they are out there. I like that. Man. Famously thick. It's like, I've never heard of this cat.
Famously thick?
Yeah. I was like, I've never heard of that cat. There's a lot of thick cats out there.
Either. No, okay. Whoever's coming up with these stories must be really desperate at this point.
Alright, I think you're getting desperate too. Number 8.
I think I am too.
ACLU defends Nazis' right to burn down their own headquarters. Real or fake?
ACLU? Wait a minute. The Nazis aren't even here. That's fake.
Yep, that's fake.
Yay.
But
I was just about to say, you said Nazis, so I mean, I was like, okay, if unless some news stories dressed up as Nazis, there's no way. There's literally no way.
There is a Nazi party in America. It's very small, but it's there. I remember learning about that during school. It is a free country, you know, but you know, after everything the Nazis have done, I don't think anyone wants to really join unless they're like really, really crazy.
I mean, a Nazi party in America in 2018. I mean,
well, remember the one guy got punched in the face for being a Nazi, and everyone defended him. They're like, he can be whatever he wants. It's America.
But, I mean,
I actually knew a guy. He worked at McDonald's with me, and he bought a Nazi flag and hung it in his room. And he bought Nazi hats and stuff from the war. I was like, is it just like you like the history? He's like, no, I'm a Nazi. And I'm like, okay. We're at McDonald's, dude. Like, what?
I mean, why? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Oh.
All right, we're almost there. Number 9. Person says, quote, I'm like a chocoholic, but for booze.
Wait a minute. A person said he's a chocoholic, but yet he's for booze. Oh God. Is that okay? I've questioned too many of these news stories, and if I said fake, I'd probably be wrong. So I mean, anything's possible at this point. So, I mean, I'm gonna go with real. Why not?
It's fake.
Oh. Some of these stories have got me messed up at this point now.
Who knows what's real and what's fake? It's all
exactly.
All right, finally.
It's all covered on fake news media.
We're at number 10, Andrew. Are you ready?
I mean, after all the past 9, I don't think so.
Usain Bolt of Pugs wins 3rd straight sprint championship.
Wait, Usain Bolt of where?
Of Pugs, like the dog, the breed.
Oh.
Like they're comparing him to the pug to Usain Bolt. So Usain Bolt of Pugs wins 3rd straight sprint championship.
Did they say what you say the sprint championship, but I'm having a question of who exactly ran that race. Like, who was the company
pug.
behind that?
Oh, I don't know what company. It was probably some PETA or something like that.
Oh God. It sounds real. I mean, you have Usain Bolt of a pug, and you said third straight. So, based on the fact that I can actually picture that, the only problem is if I actually think that's real. You know, I've said too many of these are fake, and I got them wrong. But then only a few of them have I said they were real and got them wrong. So, you know what? I'm throwing Yahtzee. Let's play it. I'm going real.
You would be correct.
Yeah!
That is a real story.
I figured. Well, because the thing is, like, even with Animal Planet, I could see Animal Planet doing a race like that. We'll just get pugs. And then one of the commentators saying, "This, my friends, is the Usain Bolt of all pugs." And I could see, I could picture that saying, you know, that could actually, I mean, for a commentator, that actually would be kind of a okay comparison in that way, I guess.
All right, Andrew, you got 4 out of 10 right.
Hey, I mean,
I guess that's like a D minus.
I mean, it's better than what I did on one of my Calculus 2 tests, so I mean, that has to be good.
But hey,
trust me,
thanks for playing. That was fun. I like that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, after all the news videos I've possibly done, the fact that I only got 4 of them right basically shows that some of the stuff I might have put on my channel could be fake, could be real, who knows.
You just skimmed the surface of news stories on your channel so far.
I mean, basically, yes.
All right, well, that's all the time we have today on the podcast with AndrewMycol. Like I said, all of his links will be below: Twitter, YouTube. Andrew, is there anything else you want to say before we end the show?
I mean, I could say one thing, but I don't know if this is probably going to be stuck in there, and I'm just going to say,
Go ahead and say it.
420 Blaze it, yo!
Oh.
I'm not kidding. No, never mind. Anyways, I'll just say this. Until next time, I'm AndrewMycol, and I'll see you guys next time. Thumbs up.
Well, thanks again for coming on the show, Andrew. And as always, I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.